Alright, folks, and welcome back to the channel. It's a slightly later post match reaction to last night's game against Dundee United as Celtic won 2-0. Also, go over the potential outgoings at Celtic and the rather strange Kyogo saga as well. But I'm joined by Alistair to go over it. How you doing, Alistair?
Good, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Aye, good. Did you enjoy the retro songbook last night?
Yeah, it was brilliant, mate. It was brilliant. But I'm glad the GB done it with humour, by the way, because I couldn't have been asked for a banner. They done it the right way. It was class. It was funny. It was retro. It was. It was definitely good.
I think it was just highlight the whole thing. It was just meant. It was just such a silly thing that was, I still don't even get why it was he ever came across it really. But we move on. Obviously, Alistair. Last night, a 2-0 victory against Dundee United at Celtic Park. Alistair, was far from a memorable game due to the fact that it was
It
pretty.
was freezing.
It was fucking freezing. Um, and it was just kind of one of those games where 3 points and you just go home really. As to the team, by the way, I am taking credit for getting the team right. The team originally was no changes, which I said I wanted, and then Nicholas Goon, the idiot that he is, goes and pulls a thigh or does something to his thigh or whatever. I don't know. Then Yang comes in. Alistair, I'm glad to see there was a bit of the same team because I do think I'm hoping Rodgers is starting to get a bit more idea. I think gain players more time, more runouts, if you know what I mean, because it does seem it used to like a few weeks ago it was seeming right 1 week Kyogo's up front, next week Obida, 1 week Bernardo's in, and Engels is out, then next week it's Engels, if you know what I mean. But I think he's kept the same team 2 games in a row. I do think there'll be some changes when we play Ross County Saturday, but it was good to just kind of see that team and just let them have another like kind of game under their belt.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree with you. But at the end of the day, mate, just your typical January fair, what you get with after Christmas, after New Year. It was basically copy and paste for the St Mirren game, although we only scored twice. But what I will say is Dundee United defended box well, so that was kind of the game I was expecting, and I did say 2-0 in the Dundee United preview, so get in there.
Did you? Right. I did think that actually at the game last night. I thought I heard 2-0 somewhere. I'd imagine it was for you. I thought first half, Alistair, we were actually okay. I thought the pace was a bit better. We obviously applauding as soon as the ball went back, and so that was good. I think, to be honest, I thought we were decent. I just thought that the same as the last few weeks. I thought the lack of cutting edge at times. It got to the box, and we were just overcomplicating it so much. At times, it was about 9 passes to go at instead of just passing it twice. We're taking about 10 passes, and I actually thought we were okay pressing wise. We were decent, and the midfield operated well. I thought McCowan done well. McGregor was fine. Engels, I thought he just strolled about as he's been doing the last kind of few weeks. But I just thought that end product at times was just a bit blunt.
Well, I put it down. My personal opinion is just the winner's final ball last night
Right.
was way off, and if you're hitting the first man, how can strikers make a run when you're
Mm-hmm.
99 times out of 100 hitting the first man with it? But no, see, be fair, games like this, you can overanalyze at times, but I just honestly felt it was routine. We were never really in trouble. I watched the Middleton chance again. I don't even think that's going in, but it's Michael can't take the chance, obviously. But
Aye.
it didn't look as if it was going in at the time. No, but I thought Dundee United are hard to play against because, and I'm not really criticising them, I wouldn't want to watch that every week if I was a United fan, to tell you the truth. But
Aye, you said about the wingers there, Alistair, the two of them, and it goes for Maida as well, because I thought his end product was horrendous at times. I get we'll go into this goal in a minute, but and then Yang, he just confirmed it again to
Yang
me.
doesn't do it for me.
He's not done it for over a year for me, and I just and I don't think there's many of the Yang enthusiasts, I like to call them, left, but it was just nah, and you can tell because it kept coming down the one. And this might be something mad, right? But I generally don't. I think that some of the players think, "Oh, I'm not giving the ball to him," because it just if you look at if you watch that game back yesterday, most of our play was come down the left hand side. I can
Well,
barely think of anything where they actually played the ball towards Yang, and it's completely different when Kuhn's in it because it's always come down the right hand side.
and it's
He's not.
direct.
Aye, it's
Direct.
direct. It's and I think Yang, might do well in like I know a club, but I just think because I do think the skills there are generally, and you might think I'm mental for saying that, but I do think there's skill there, but it's just the lack of composure, the lack of
I'll be on you go.
it's just the lack of composure for me. There was a chance in the kind of first half, and it ran through about 5 United players. You're just thinking, right, slow down and finish it, but it just snaps, and it's like that's what it's missing.
And yeah, you're right. Do you know? I don't know if you remember this. Remember when Dundee United were getting, I say a grip, they were having a spell, and Yang gets bullied and basically ragdolled in the corner,
I
and the guy
remember
gets
because you were gonna have
away.
your nut.
And I just thought that sums him up. He's, I don't want to be cruel, Joe, but he's got the heart of a mouse.
And because we people might say, "Oh, we're not patient." We've been more than patient with players like Yang, and that's when I laugh and people are like, "Oh, here comes the Engels fanboy again." But that's when I laugh, and we are really
Hmm.
patient with. That's got some really harsh, shite players like Yang, but then Engels has a few bad weeks. Oh, he's terrible. Get him out of the team, and even Kuhn. We were slating him like when he was having a bad few months. But Yang just seems to have this infinite. Oh, you'll be. I think there's something in there, and I'm like, well, when can we actually say that there's nothing? And I think the time is now, and it's no disrespect to the guy because he seems, wanting to do well. But I just think this, the problem I think with the difference. Yang, I think, really wants to try and he's energetic. This is the issue with our two wingers at the moment. I mean,
I
backup two wingers. You've got Yang, who's all about energy. Then you've got Palmer, who's probably got the skill and the end product, but he's so slow and he's just lazy at times. So we can't seem to get the middle ground, if you know what I mean.
a year in, can you honestly tell me what style of play Yang is? Because I can't.
No, for me,
And that
it's just a run at a player and see what happens. Kind of player, really. I don't really
there's,
think there's a
there's no
style.
substance with him. There's
Mhm.
no substance with him.
And that's why, we'll go into the whole kind of like Lewis Palmer leaving there later on, but that's how I do think Lewis Palmer will get a move somewhere because I think that I do think I just think Lewis Palmer's problem has always been laziness at times and just lack of pace because he's got a decent cross in his locker. We saw that last night. I don't know if you've seen the goal
Yeah,
back, but he's really done really well for the second. He's Hatate's
yeah,
goal last night.
but I remember the Aberdeen the 6-0 game. We played
Aye.
the exact same cross, and and I'll be honest, I just seen the United play fall to the ground, so I was a wee bit worried for Hatate they wouldn't get the goal because I thought they would say that it bumped to centre. Maeda bumped to centre half, or whoever was in the middle at the time. But however, I don't think we're actually a great. We need wingers in. It's an absolute certainty. Maybe no further now, but we definitely need to look at the winger department in the summer.
No, I would say just now. I genuinely that I think if we don't get out this window, we've not get at least one new winger in the club. I'd be asking serious questions. You can say about the massive gap we've got in the title, but in the league or whatever. But I think even
Look
if
at the Champions League, I suppose.
we've got the Champions League, and I'm sorry, but we can't keep having this every time Nicholas Cunha dies and Maida gets injured that we're shiting ourselves.
Yeah.
Because Kuhn needs a rest. Kuhn can't play 38, 40 games a season. Maida, I've come out and said that I think we've extremely lucky he's not been injured. With the amount
I
of
think
games
it's
he's played.
just a freaking nature, tell you.
But I don't think you can always, and I do think the club have really assumed that over the last few years about Maida, where you can just play Dies and Maida. You need to give Dies and Maida a rest as well, because I don't think Maida's been his usual self the last few games. I don't think, and that's fine. People are going to go through dips in form. Maida when he's, I don't doubt. I think he's still the presence there, but I just think like last night you saw it. Some of his crossing was just hitting the first man, and and that's when you're like, right, what else? What else have we got in reserve? We've not got anything.
I might be wrong, Josh, but in all competition, somebody said to me today they think Maeda's on something like 14, 13, 14 goals. And I was like, that can't be right. And it must be on double figures, right enough. But as I say, I thought he played his best football last night when he went tried to run through the middle. The goal's a case in point. He follows it in like a probing striker. But
But I think wingers need. I can't. Sorry, I'm going to go as far as saying every time Yang and Palmer, or even I just question my sanity. To be honest, they make me go insane at
why am
times.
I watching this thing?
They make me do go because, and you know what, they're not good enough, and I've always been like, I'm always quite blunt and point. I don't fart about it. I'm just like, you're either good or you're shite.
Well, Jan kind of reminds me of a bit of Mikey Jones.
By the way, Maida's got 14 goals and 6 assists this season, by the way, if you want.
So it's about right.
So that's brilliant. He's having a brilliant season. Alistair, the second half was
A bit hairy.
was a bit grim at times to watch. It was a bit boring, if I'm not going. I think it was Dundee United come out, and this was always going to be the worry when we didn't have the second goal. As Dundee United started for a good 5 minutes. Dundee United were passing the ball with a lot of confidence, and Celtic looked like the team that were,
hanging on, yeah.
retreating or whatever. And it did get just a bit, as you say, there hairy. It was just, we weren't, we just looked a bit all over the place. We weren't just kind of composing ourselves. Then it doesn't help, obviously. Then Jan's getting subbed, for a midfielder. Basically, Jan's getting subbed for a midfielder, which for me confirmed again why we need a winger, because it shows how much.
I don't know if you noticed this, Josh, but he put McGowan out in the left.
Aye.
I know McGowan started as a left winger, but you're really splitting hairs that you brought him in as a midfielder.
I don't even think it's because of that. I just think he's got that. He's got that much faith in Palmer that he does it. I know he brought Palmer on, but if you're bringing a midfielder on for a winger, and you've got a winger sitting there, it speaks volumes in my eyes, I think. And it just for the lads, and I'm going to sound like a broken record by the end of this January transfer window. We need a winger that can actually, not even just a winger, we need a winger that can come on and impact a game, because
we need a winger to come and be a game changer.
aye,
I
because
was hoping for Jota, but that's not happening. So
I think Jota was always going to be a pipe dream. I think he will get a still a decent club in Europe. I think he's still decently aged in that as well. So, but as you said, we've not got a winger that you can say, right, he's on the bench. If we're struggling, Maida or Kuhn struggling, or we can go at that, right? He come in, he can make a difference. Forrest, when he's been coming on, he's no somebody you got at, right. Can James Forrest make a difference? Maybe last season, but this season, no really. Yang, Palmer, you never got at. Nah, they can make a difference. Now I thought, Palmer was weird yesterday because he kept first 2 minutes,
he ran the ball at the park.
ran the ball at the park, and then there was a point when he's like showboating. You're like, there's nobody near you.
You're in the wrong movie, son.
But then he puts that good cross in, and you're thinking that's just partnering. Then he actually should have scored, but it was a good save for the goalkeeper.
Aye.
And then you're thinking, huh? It just he's so confusing, because you look at it and you think, for a good sort of 3 months in 2023, Palmer was like that, but then you've also got the shite. So it's like there's no middle ground with Lewis Palmer, it seems. But it's just a simple 2-0 win, really. I don't think there's much.
I mean, it's a routine one, Josh. Glad to get the 3 points. I would like to give a couple of players a good shout out. I'll leave Andy Engels to you because he's your boy. But I would
Should have had
like
another
to,
4 assists last night, by the way.
I would like to give a big shout out to two centre halves, Trusty and Vickers. I thought, especially when it got a wee bit dodgy in the second half, Josh, I thought they held us together.
Aye.
I mean, Scott Connor, even Greg Taylor was decent, I thought, at times.
I
But
don't think you put a foot wrong, by the way.
I don't want people to think I don't give credit when it's due. Shut up.
No, Greg Taylor as well. I forgot to mention. He's had a lot of criticism, but that was his 200th appearance for Celtic as well. So he's not done.
I believe that was wrong. 119. I believe it's Stingwall. I believe the Celtic.
I just got off Celtic page.
Got it wrong. So
doesn't matter. He's going to get his 200th appearance, but I still think the criticism of him at times is just ridiculous, to be honest. But he's, I think people would make him out that he's this sort of amateur player at times. When if you're making 200 appearances for Celtic, you must be doing something right.
I mean, nobody's saying he's a world beater, but
no, I thought he's.
I think he deserves a wee bit more credit than he gets.
Aye.
For me, I'll say
and I'm not saying that he's this world class talent, right? But he's done a job. He's come in there, and he's done a job, and that's the thing. So, but I asked, it was just that I thought we were pretty decent. I had to come on. It was good to see him scoring. I just wish he would consistently keep that up, because he's got that in his locker.
Yeah, well, it was a typical Hatate goal, really.
Aye,
but I just say Bernardo done well to dummy it.
Aye.
If you watch it again, it was a lovely dummy, and Hatate just kind of toe-poked it in the top corner. But I was pleased to see that, but I wish it came about 20 minutes earlier and we could have relaxed, but I didn't realise at the time, Josh, how late in the game that was.
83 minutes, 84 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Engels, he just continues to do what he's been doing. Really, I think he's just going at, and I'll continue to say every game he plays, he'll just keep kind of. You're starting to see the quality in
Why
him.
you paid the money, yeah.
You're starting to see the difference. I think you're start. Now I know people. It's only in Dundee United. It's only this. I don't agree with that because you know he play. You know we were moaning when he
You
wasn't
can only
doing.
play the teams in your league at the end of the day.
Aye, and people are moaning when he wasn't producing against the Scottish teams. So
Yes,
I
you
don't
can't
know.
help it both ways.
Aye, no, I don't think he was necessarily amazing. But I just thought he'd done what he needed to
I
do,
don't
and that's
I don't think anybody was amazing, Josh. I think we were all too cold, tell you the
aye, aye.
truth.
But
Mike,
I, Alistair, tend off this, but what about man of the match?
well, you're going to give it to Engel, so actually, I'll go for, I'm trying to think. I'll go for Greg Taylor.
You're actually severely wrong on that, but I wasn't going to get you Alan Engels. Um, I'm going to get Austin Trusty.
You thought I was going to get too trusted,
I
didn't
thought
you?
that as well. I was thinking he's going to steal my thunder here. No, as you said, Alistair, I thought they two were they done their job. Vickers, to stop them breaking away, there was a few times where they just, used his strength really well, and you're just like, that's what he does. Trusty, I thought, played really well again, continuing to just.
He did one The only reason I never gave it to Trusty, how can you get to Trusty when they don't really have a shot at goal?
I just thought he was calming when it got hairy. I think it was just calming to have they two back there really.
Yeah.
When everybody else I think was kind of losing their heads. But I've made it clear. I think Carter Vickers and Trusty should be our two centre halves
American
going forward.
boys.
American boys, as the chant goes. But Alistair, it's just another
Take it off, move
take
on.
it off, and obviously 16 points clear until when we're recording this. So hopefully by the end of the night, but see what happens. Alistair, just want to speak a bit about the obviously transfer rumours and stuff like that that's going on. As for incomings, it's typical Celtic January fashion. We don't have anything to talk about, if I'm being honest.
I don't really think we're very really severe at any meeting the bones and outgoings as well, apart from Stephen Welsh.
Welsh, he's what joined, is it Metcham or so? I don't know how you
I
pronounce
met
it.
Sean. I
So he's
believe somebody else went there with Celtic next. I've just forgot the name. I'll come back to it. It may have been Jack Henry actually.
well, he's obviously there on a loan till the end of the season.
Not going to buy, I don't think.
I don't want to, I'm not going to get into too much because I think you used to. We all know my opinions on Welsh. He needs to go and get another club where he can actually play football because it's not going to happen at Celtic, in all honesty.
So,
Trustees here, obviously, Scales, he's
and
obviously got his flaws as well, but he's a decent enough third choice, so I would imagine. There's no play. There's not really any place where you go, right, Welsh could just go in there. I don't think he's good enough. I've said this for years. I think he's another one in kind of the Mikey Johnson effect where players just seem to stay at Celtic for too long. But best of luck to him. Hopefully, he does all right there. Like as you said, Henry done well there. So hopefully the same would happen with Welsh. Maybe get a good kind of a wee bit of a fee out of him. I don't know, but he's obviously off. The Lewis Palmer stuff. I think Celtic are still talking with, is it Vallecano?
Real Vallecano, yeah.
But I think they're wanting a loan, but I don't think
I
Celtic.
don't see that happening. To be fair,
I think Celtic's intentions are this window to let Lewis Palmer go. I think last night confirms that for me as well.
yeah.
I don't know. We'll obviously see what happens in that in the coming days, but I would expect Lewis Palmer to probably leave the
I
club.
would say this, Josh, it's still it's still early in January, so I wouldn't be alarmed yet by the lack of movement because, as I've said to you in general about transfer windows, the first 2 weeks tend to be very quiet, and then it all kicks into gear the last 2 weeks. I'm not saying that's right, but that's a stereotypical January transfer window for me.
I kind of made it clear with the start. As long as we get, what I expect us to get out of this window, which is probably
Left
not
back.
not a left back now. I don't think because I think we know who's going to be the left back in the summer, and which is obviously Kieran Tierney. Need to be respectful there, obviously. But I think it's going to maybe be a winger. I don't know if Rodgers might have something else, that he wants to kind of look at. I don't know, but um, so the last thing I want to talk about is obviously we were at the game last night. There was news developed. Obviously, Kyogo Atalanta put a tweet up.
No, it was MLS.
I know, but it's kind of stemmed from Atalanta putting that tweet up, which we discussed in the preview
Yeah,
about the volume. But it turned out it was somebody else for the G League 2.
yeah, yeah.
Then the MLS put an article out saying that Atalanta had signed Kyogo Furuhashi, and then deleted the article. Like, I mean,
30 seconds later or something.
it was like literally, I think 30 seconds later, and then people were digging up that Kyogo's on
The
their
bench.
website or something, or the MLS website about players that are over there or whatever. But I found it today that the MLS do that for some reason. So any player that plays against an MLS opponent. So obviously we played against DC United at the start of this summer.
Yeah,
It was actually Ryan that was talking about this.
right.
Basically, because like Real Hatati's on the website as well.
Oh,
Um,
please.
Mbappe's on the website, but that's what I'm saying. Any like opposition players that play against a MLS side. So like if Real Madrid played DC, then Mbappe would put, but obviously, so that's that kind of being course. Alistair, what do you make of this? Because
I, I'm going to go on a rant here, Josh. I think it's very unprofessional.
I think it has been a mistake, but I do think it is a mistake at this moment in time, but I don't think it's a mistake kind of, oh, well, they've just picked a wrong Japanese player. I think there might be a bit more in it. I
No,
don't think,
no for this window, I don't
no, I
think.
know for this window, but I
Okay,
do
that
think,
is clear.
I've made it kind of clear in the channel. I think Kyogo will leave in the summer. I just think come up to 31, I think we need to try and see how much money we could maybe get from him. And, looking ahead to the future, I'm Kyogo's one of Kyogo's biggest fans, but even I could admit that. But, you know, it was just really strange. It was really, really
Especially when
strange.
he's sitting on the bench.
Aye.
I no in the section, obviously, but people I know at the other part of the ground were texting me today saying, "Did you hear that apparently 60 minutes in, so and so's bar saying that good Kyogo Furuhashi signed for Atlanta United, just sitting in the dugout here like, oh please."
I don't know. It probably was. It is a mistake, obviously. I don't deny that, but I do think there is probably going to be a bit more in it the next few months. In
I
terms of
wouldn't be
Kyogo's future.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And the thing that got me as well is when they said Japanese Volume 1. So it probably means there's going to be somebody else potentially signed. And I'm trying to kind of act devil's advocate. I don't think he'll leave in January, but I do think in the summer we could maybe see it. Kyogo's
Well,
still a Celtic player,
I'll
that's the main thing. But
I'll be honest with you, Josh. The summer's a completely different argument because A, you've got more time to replace him, and B, I'm not being disrespectful to the January transfer window. There'll be better options out there come the summer. In theory, anyway. In theory.
I do think, and I was, I was listening to it's a 20-minute Tim's podcast. I was listening, and they were saying, and I do agree with them. I think Celtic are going to probably go, no rebuild as such, but a kind of changing of the guard, because I do think that if you look at the squad, I think there's still a good nucleus of kind of Angie's players here. Your Midas.
You said that the other day,
your Midas are still here. Hatati's still here. And that's not a bad thing. Obviously, I just think there might be come a point where they want to kind of move on. And I
They
think
get the feet because they're no. I don't mean they're not connected to the club, but they see Celtic as a job at the end of the day.
Aye. And I just think maybe in the summer we will maybe see a wee bit of not a massive, I'm not saying we're going to be a full new team or whatever, but maybe just rebuilding certain positions to kind of mould it into more of kind of Brendan Rodgers to you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, hopefully.
But what the Kyogo thing was just a bit strange, but he's obviously still here for the now, and I do expect him still be here to at least the end of the season. But I asked her, there's not really much else to kind of go there because, as I said, we've not getting in terms of potential
In concrete, so there have been names mentioned, Joyce, but
we'd be here all week.
nothing major. But at the end of the day, I personally think it'll be the last 2 weeks it'll liven up. Happens every window.
No, I think we're just going to wait. I think time will tell, really, what will happen. But I'm going to just end it there because we've been going for a bit of a while now. But that's going to be it for today's video. We're back probably tomorrow with the preview ahead of Celtic's trip to Dingwall on Saturday to face Ross County. Until then, speeches later, and hail hail.